How's it going, everyone? As always, God bless you. Thank you for being here. I'm Gage, and this is Candy Cool Aquatics. If you're new to my channel, please click the subscription button and tap that notification bell. This is where I talk about all things reefing, but more importantly, where I share the information I've gathered on my tank with you guys to help you become better hobbyists at the hobby we call reefing. Today, guys, is another update on the 60-gallon cube. Just wanted to show you how things were going. As you can see, no algae, pretty much non-existent, right? There is some if we get really close. You can see the rock work is just a wee bit fuzzy, but it's just, I would consider it just like your normal algae that's just going to grow on your rock work to begin with. And that's what we have the algae eating blenny to help us with, as well as the yellow square spot rabbitfish. So ever since I added the square spot rabbitfish, I just want to say that this thing is an absolute destroyer of algae. If you guys have any issues whatsoever when it comes to algae and you have a tank large enough to sustain them, I would highly recommend getting this fish. I have owned foxface rabbitfish before, and they didn't do anywhere near as good a job as the rabbitfish did. Now, I know that might sound a little strange when I'm saying foxface rabbitfish and rabbitfish, but they are different yet kind of the same. So the foxface rabbitfish is the one with the elongated nose. Usually you see the one spot Leo or the magnificent foxface rabbitfish. The just the rabbitfish, if you look at the fish, his snout, if you will, this one really actually does remind me kind of a rabbit's nose and facial features, whereas the foxface rabbitfish, excuse me, gets its name from that elongated snout, kind of like the muzzle of a fox. I've owned both now, and hands down, the rabbitfish, at least the yellow square, in my opinion, has been the better of the two. If you guys go back and look at some previous videos, you'll see that this tank was absolutely just completely covered with algae. I mean, mats of algae through the sand, on the rockwork, everywhere. I did have the algae eating blenny, which you can see in the right hand corner right now. I did have him in here the whole time. He's been in here for quite a while. And as you can see, if you can see his belly, or as my son would call it, his belly whopper, he is huge. I mean, he is fat. He is very well fed. But even as much as he eats and as and how fat he is and how he's always eating, he could not keep up with the amount of algae that was in this tank. It just wasn't possible. After I added the rabbitfish, I mean, bam, I'm telling you guys, in less than a week's time, my algae was gone, or just about gone. Now it's getting to the point where I'm having to supplement with algae sheets. So I will put algae sheets in here a couple times a week, as well as letting them graze naturally on what's accumulating on the grass, or excuse me, on the glass and the rockwork. And then I will also go ahead and feed a cube of brine shrimp. Now, what I like to do when I feed, I'll go ahead and show you right now because everybody knows that it's feeding time and they're getting a little antsy. So let me go ahead and add some food to the tank, and then I will kind of explain my process of adding food here. Okay, so when I add food to the system, I use one cube of whatever it is that you want to use. I break that up into about 3 different feeding sessions. I'll add a little bit, let them do their thing, and then I'll let them go back and just start naturally looking for food again for a little while. Maybe I'll come back 20 minutes, half hour later, add another feeding, and then I'll do that one more time before the night is over. So I'll put essentially 3 feedings out of 1 cube is what I'll acquire out of 1 cube. I think this is better overall because rather than just dumping all the food in and letting it go to waste, I know within a couple of minutes the fish are getting a majority of that food that I have added. I'm not over adding to where it's going to get lost in the filtration of the rockwork. So if you're struggling with overfeeding or if you're struggling with high nutrients, try just using half of whatever it is that you're feeding. If you're feeding 2 cubes, try cutting back to 1 cube. Or if you're using just 1 cube, try splitting it up into multiple feeding sessions. The protein skimmer is back running, and I'm using the Tidal Wave, I believe it's called 75 from Seachem, which is the hang on the back protein skimmer, or excuse me, hang on the back filter. No real complaints yet. I will do a review on the filter soon. I've switched salt from the Red Sea Reefer Pro to the Salinity, which is made by Sea Chem as well, I believe. I will do some type of a review on the salinity salt as well. But I just want to give you guys an update, let you know everything is looking great. I still do have a little bit of issues with the sand bed. So if I kind of scroll in here a little bit, you can see that the sand's just a little bit brown in certain areas. Give me 1 second here. Hopefully you can see it. So over here on the right-hand side, you can actually see that it's pretty gunky down in there. I just need to get in there and loosen that up. I'll try to suck some of that out. It's just trapped in that layer of sand. I added, I think, too much sand to this tank because when I added sand originally, I didn't have any fish in here or anything, but I never plugged in the probe that would control my heater to turn on and off. So the heater stayed on continuously and it like fried the water. I mean, it was like bathtub hot. So I'm pretty sure it probably killed the majority of the bacteria that was in here. So then I added more live sand to hopefully try to like rebuild that population of bacteria. Now I'm getting to the point where I need to start removing sand because I have too much. Over on the left-hand side, you can still see that there's some buildup in the sand, and my rabbit fish will actually kind of dig through the sand and eat some of that up too. I've been noticing them doing that. But overall, guys, night and day difference. I have some coralline algae starting to grow. You can see back there on the right-hand side in the back pane there, you can see that there's some. I also had a couple of other little spots on the glasswork. I don't know if it's going to become anything. I don't know if it's old. It's been there since before, and I'm just now noticing it. I'm trying to keep an eye on it to see if it's actually growing or not. I've been thinking about taking like a permanent marker and drawing like a line at the outermost point of it and seeing if it ever grows past that. But there are 3 spots that I'm keeping an eye on right now to see if I'm going to get some coralline algae growth or not. I haven't done any testing as far as alkalinity goes, as far as phosphates or nitrates go. Or as far as what was the other one? Phosphates, nitrates, alkalinity, calcium, anything like that. I haven't done any of that kind of stuff yet. I don't have any coral in here. I did start adding some Alpha-Reef. I've only dosed it about 2 or 3 times. I haven't tested. I just dosed it a little bit just to kind of see if I could get that alkalinity up. I do have to test to see where it's at. The pH in my tank, I did test that, and it was right around, I think it was like 8.1. It was like between 7.8 to like 8.1. So the pH could stand to be a little bit higher. I'm getting ready to add some coral to the tank. I just want to do a few more water changes before I do that. Get in here and start cleaning up the sand bed maybe a little bit more. And I've been contemplating adding some cleanup crew. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys have found the most success with when it comes to cleanup crew. Cleanup crew is not typically something that I was ever real giddy about adding to my system. I just never took the time to really do it. I have had tiger cucumbers, I've had hermit crabs, I've had snails. You know, I guess I've had the basics. I've had sand sifting starfish. I've actually been thinking about getting a sand sifting goby and a pistol shrimp. I just got to find somewhere where I can get the pair. But I don't know. We'll see. Until next time, guys, take care. God bless. Also, I am going to be writing a manual of some kind. I'll keep you guys updated on that. But basically, it's going to be a manual that you guys can download. I'll let you know where you can get it. And it's going to be a lot of tips and tricks. And basically, I'm going to be pulling from frequently asked questions and pulling from methods that people really want to see more of. I don't want to give too much away right now, but I promise you guys it'll be worth it. So I'll keep you updated. It's going to have a lot of my stuff, little tricks that I've learned over the years of ours growing zoanthids and corals, as far as adjusting and dosing certain different types of things to the tank. And just overall, when it comes to livestock, chemistry, corals, just really got to get a nice looking tank. I'm going to break down all the information into really simple terminology, easy to follow, easy to understand guide that anybody should be able to download and quickly have success with. If you have any questions, leave them down below. I appreciate all the time and attention that you guys give to my channel. If you haven't subscribed, I would really appreciate you just hitting the subscribe button. I'm trying to get back into YouTube more now that I'm feeling better. And it would really help me out, with the YouTube analytics and things, if I could get some more subscribers, some more likes on my videos, maybe even some more comments or shares or what have you. I would appreciate any help you guys can give me. Until next time, take care and God bless. We'll see y'all later.